people of God came into the promised land, they carried the Ark of the Covenant into the mountains to a place called Shiloh. They put up the tent for God, and the Ark stayed there. The people of God settled on the hills around the Ark. Two of the people, Hannah and Elkanah, lived in Ramah, not far from where the Ark was kept. Each year they came to Shiloh to pray. Hannah wanted to be a mother so much, but she had no children. One year she prayed so deeply in front of God's tent that one of the priests, named Eli, worried. He went to see if he could help her. She told him that she was asking God to help her have a baby. He helped her pray. Hannah and Elkanah had a baby, and they named him Samuel, which means someone given by God. When Samuel was old enough, Hannah and Elkanah brought Samuel to Shiloh to live with Eli and to learn to care for the ark. But every year Hannah came to see him and brought him a new coat to wear. One night when Samuel was asleep on his mat in the tent, God called, "Samuel, Samuel." Samuel thought it must be Eli calling, so he went to him. But Eli did not call him, and he told Samuel to go and lie down. This happened 3 times until Eli realized that God must be calling Samuel. He told Samuel to go back and lie down. He said, "If you hear the voice again, speak, 'God, for your servant hears.'" God called him again, but this time Samuel did as Eli told him. God told Samuel that Eli's own sons and the people of God would lose the ark in a battle, and Eli would fall down and die when he heard the news. In the morning, Samuel told Eli what God had told him. It came true. The people of God lost the ark, and Eli died. Since the ark and the priests were gone, Samuel went back to live with his mother and father. But God stayed close to Samuel, and he became the leader of all the people, called a judge. He was also a true prophet. When Samuel grew old, the people came to him and asked for a king. They wanted to be like the other nations. Samuel wasn't sure what to do, so he prayed to God, and God told him to go and find a king. Samuel began to look for the right person to be king. He knew at once that Saul was the right one. He anointed him king by pouring oil over his head and giving thanks to God. Saul led the armies of Israel, and he was their king. But the Spirit of the Lord left Saul. One day God told Samuel to anoint a new king. He went to the house of the family of Jesse of Bethlehem. There he found David, Jesse's youngest son, and he anointed him to be the new king when Saul died. When all of Samuel's work was finished, he went back home to Ramah. When he died, people from all over Israel gathered to remember him with tears of sadness and of thanksgiving. Now, I wonder what part of this story you liked best. I wonder what part of this story is the most important part. I wonder what part of this story is about you. I wonder if there is any part of this story that we can leave out and still have all of the story that we need. Here is the oil that Samuel used to anoint the kings. Here is the crown of King Saul, then of King David. Here is Samuel's mat where he slept. Here are the coats that Samuel's mother, Hannah, brought him every year as he grew bigger. Here is the baby Samuel. And here is the Ark of the Covenant.